thank you. Thank you to everybody who came out to celebrate and acknowledge and honor the work that the Anti-Police Terror Project has done to even bring this house into reality. Y'all may know, but this struggle that we're in is a fight every single day, every day. I was just talking to my folks earlier about the threats that we're consistently getting because we are demanding a transformed Oakland in a transformed world, and because we want to do things a little different. It is wild to me that people are acknowledging and honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, but don't acknowledge that while he was living, he was one of the most hated figures in American pantheon of civil rights activists. And it's not because of his speeches about mountaintops or his dreams. It is because of his fight for the working class. It is because he demanded a universal basic income. It's because he supported the unionization of workers and a host of other things. Him fighting for janitors, him fighting for trash workers. All of these things, and then also pushing against the militarization of police departments and the military for the United States of America, demanding that the United States get out of an unjust war. How many are we in right now? How many wars are we trying to fight, or how many fights are we trying to pick all over the world right now? And we can't feed people in the United States of America, where we have more unsheltered people living in this district than any other part of the city of Oakland. It doesn't make sense. Y'all make it make sense for me. But the way that folks want to acknowledge and remember the legacy is to whitewash and sanitize the radical legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so I am so appreciative of APTP, of consistently lifting up what we should still be fighting for today. The same things that Dr. King was pushing for, I'm fighting for as a legislator today. And boy, are they trying to burn me for it. There are people in this district right now which are saying that the Anti-Police Terror Project is a militant organization that is trying to create anarchy and overthrow the government. There's all these kind of different things. And they said it about the Panther Party. They say it about any community, organization, individual, or group that is pushing for self-determination and the right to thrive for marginalized people. Especially the black. I got some hype folks here too. Yes, add your comments, add your commentary, because and the reason I'm saying that right now is because you will see, and a lot of this is happening on Twitter, but there is an attempt to agitate individuals towards radical activity. And when I say radical, I'm talking about stopping the work that's happening here. There are trolls, there are individuals that are trying to whip up dissent to mask the work that not only APTP does, but CRC does. And it is growing. We saw it happen in San Francisco, and they're using the conditions that exist on the streets to whip up a frenzy to get people so angry at the conditions and the people that are in position to change those conditions that we do not lift up and support progressive leadership. They're trying to make progressive a pejorative. They're trying to make the things that we fight for somehow anti. And y'all got to be able to call it out and know it when you see it. It is no different than the COINTELPRO of the 60s. It is no different. The leadership that I bring to this district is new, and they're trying to stop every bit of progress that we can possibly make around homelessness, around public safety, around the economy. We are trying to transform this place, but white supremacy is a hell of a drug, and it is entrenched. So I don't want you all to lose hope, because our new mayor has been in office for, you can blink an eye. And I hear people already like, why hasn't anything changed? What you mean? Councilmember Fife, you've been in office for almost 2 years. Why is everything the same? Y'all, this is some entrenched shit. And we are doing everything in our power to change things. Every single item that I have brought for a transformative shift in the city of Oakland with the previous administration, was fought tooth and nail. If y'all come to city council meetings, you know what I'm talking about. And you know the people that are the most antagonistic are the ones that are connected to that old administration. So we got to know what we're dealing with. A lot of them folks are still there. A lot of them folks have been in City Hall. I've been there for 2 years. A lot of them folks have been there for 20 years. Much longer than me. So what I'm asking you and I'm begging for is that you all stay the course, because when we fight, we win. But this is a protracted struggle. Folks are gearing up right now to run against me in 2 years. And they're doing everything. There are people saying that I'm responsible for every murder that has happened in the city of Oakland in the last 8 years. I'm like, y'all know y'all had the same mayor for the last 8 years. She don't got no responsibility? No responsibility? And I said, I didn't create the problem, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop it, to change it. I am honored to be in partnership with an organization that has been on the forefront of calling out police terror. There is a difference. People are like, oh my God, they're so anti. They're anti-terror, because everyone deserves the right to live in peace without worrying about being killed, profiled, or any of the other things that we know that positions of power will allow to happen. They said 2022 had the highest number of police killings in the last 5 years. That it had 2022 outpaced 2021, 2020, the previous 5 years, but you don't hear about that. You don't hear about that. Why? Because they know that the people, because we saw it when the whole world rose up over George Floyd. They know that the people will start once again to be like, nah. It was phenomenal to see Germany and Antarctica and Croatia, all these places around the world rise up to say we are done with it. Folks cannot be mad at people calling for abolition when they are under the boot of oppression. It's a logical thought. If we are saying arresting people, putting them in jail without any kind of services to rehabilitate only exacerbates the existing problems. I am neglectful to not take a moment for Dilma Spruill, who was killed walking home from work from the post office a few nights ago. I'm negligent because I wanted to take a moment in honor of her and her family, and not just her biological family, but our family, our community family, who is reeling over the loss. And I'm so grateful that Mayor Tao also said that being hungry, not taking care of children, not looking out for mothers and their families, not caring about poverty, all of that is violence. And the reason I bring up Dilma is because the individual that claimed her life was sick and was neglected and tossed away from mental health services, from the hospitalization that they needed, from having access to the care that is necessary to keep someone and wrap their arms around someone who is in need of mental health services. And we see a lot of that. We know how to punish, but we don't know how to care. And if we don't remember how to care for each other, we will continue to have the conditions that none of us want to see. So when you hear people talk about abolitionists being the first abolitionist house, it's because what is truly intended is to abolish the despair, the apathy, and all of the things that make us disconnected from our people. That's what we're talking about. And when people say that this defund thing happened that actually didn't, it's because there's an attempt to shift the narrative around the care that we are saying needs to happen from every single level of government for us all to be safe. If we don't shift funding, if we don't have funding for the things that matter, like housing and healthcare and public education, we will continue in these damn potholes. We will look at that. You can pour some water and swim in that. If we don't invest into those things, you need to be wealthy in order to live, then we will continue to create a world where no one is safe. And we gotta change that. And I'm not changing my stripes for nobody.
That's right.
So all the folks that are trying to be like, oh, look, Carol is whatever. Nah, I got the same principles. And my principles are centered in what the people need forever. And for folks who've been trying to reach out to me, I want you all to understand that I operate not because I choose to, but I operate in a constant state of crisis. It is not my choice. I'm trying to take care of thousands of people in this district. And not just my district, because people call me from all over Oakland for help. All over, honestly, the country, asking for support on one thing or another. So if you try to reach out to me and you don't get me the first time or the 10th time, call my chief of staff. You can try Tanya, she's over here, I love you. But keep doing it. That's what organizers do. You don't quit. If you need me, as I need you, keep at it. Because there's so much work to do and not nearly enough of us doing it, right? So if you are trying to reach out to me, let me know. This is my district, this is my city, this is my home, this is my love. You all are. And I just want you all to know I appreciate every way that you show up for me, and I am doing my damnedest to keep showing up for you. The Anti-Police Terror Project and everyone who contributes their time, their volunteer hours, thank you. So for all the people who might not be a part of an organization, I hear Kat used to say this all the time, if you're not a part of one, join one. We could use the help. If you want to help on my end, I could use that too, because we got to build a pipeline, right? We got to find somebody to take my place when I decide to tap out. But I want to just end with, and I'm putting this in the words of the actual speaker. It's 2023, so we can change it to be more inclusive of all people. But Frederick Douglass said that it's easier to build strong people than to fix broken men, right? And so in essence, when we invest in people, we invest in our children so they can grow up and be strong individuals, then we can build strong communities. And ironically enough, it's a lot cheaper and more affordable to do it that way too. So if we wait till people are broken and beaten by this system, it gets a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult. So help me help APTP in building strong people, strong communities, because that's how we're gonna win. I love y'all.